What up? What up? What up? What up? What's good, people? What is up? What is? They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties, and these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you, girl. You can go over there, rant and rave, girl. You can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these pants on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. This what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to, I thought Lil Bird was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Girl. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like, the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yana Van Zam's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup clumped here everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. Hit me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap, something like that. I'd love to see it. Anyway, but I like it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Jesus Christ, superstar. Somebody, I do want to respond. Somebody sent me a DM asking me, because they were watching one of the live, what show was I reviewing when I talked about rainbow bright hair and all of that? And they said, I'm just going, well, I don't come out the bushes, but I want to know if you're watching that. That's from the Book of Darkness. Me and another YouTuber was going at it. The YouTuber was actually Conscious TV. Conscious TV had called me out and decided to go in on me.
I love them.
The Book of
Y'all
Darkness.
have buried the hatchet.
Yeah, we
Y'all
did.
have buried the hatchet.
We buried the hatchet, but the person it wasn't a show. That was from the Book of Darkness. It's all of the Book of Darkness videos are still there. Hell, I drug Lady P and she dead and gone.
You be in these YouTube streets going back and forth with the YouTubers. I'm out of
If
time.
people call me out, if they summon me, there's a book that I have, the Book of Darkness. It starts levitating and glowing, and it'll come and I'll open it up. It'll open to a chapter, and I'll just commence to reading.
I know that's right.
I'm mad I missed it.
I'm waiting for that origin.
There's a whole playlist of the Book of Darkness.
Oh, say less. Say less.
Ooh.
I started binging Jersey, but I'm sorry. I'm all over.
Really?
No, you're fine. You listen. Anything to keep us from talking about these whores.
Let me tell you something.
Right?
Let me tell you something. I always got my damn water when we do these shows. These girls done got me damn drinking. At this point, I'm tired of them. They done drove me.
I hate them.
Okay. Yeah.
I hate
I've
them.
never been so ready for Atlanta to come back. The fact that these whores have gotten, I can't stand Atlanta,
Same.
but I would much rather have
I love
Atlanta
I
than
would,
what we got going on.
I would never not like Atlanta.
Atlanta ain't been the same since Nene left.
Y'all Nene fans need to just stop. Get over it. She's gone.
It is kind of true though.
Okay,
And
they just haven't had the right replacement.
Are they ever gonna find it?
They could. They if they get the right person.
I thought one season they was gonna try to have Monica, because the people say Monica is real about that life. When you hang around her more, she's straight out. Ain't she out of like College Park, East Point, one of those ghetto areas down there that I don't frequent?
Oh God,
I don't be going down there. That's too far.
Oh, Teddy. Speaking of down in Atlanta, don't you want to go to Robin and Giselle's show for us to
No, we're not
get
doing
it
that.
and review it? Then let us know how it went.
If y'all pay for it, I'll go. If the members of the House of Debauchery pay for it, I'll go. We're Belto, but I won't be paying for it. Hey, Terrence, what's going on, Terrence? What is going on?
You're doing a podcast tour? Oh wow!
Listen,
y'all
you know
really
what they
believe
could have? I heard at one point they was thinking about having Colorism Keisha on there, and I don't know if she'll be too good though for it. Y'all know her as light skinned Keisha. I call her Colorism Keisha.
Where? Oh, where?
On where? Yeah.
Atlanta. They was talking about Colorism Keisha being on Atlanta.
Absolutely not.
I think that was a rumor from media takeout.
Okay.
Because why would they have them on? Why would she's not even? She's more Love and Hip Hop.
They not.
How is Atlanta any different from Love and Hip Hop at this point?
Yeah, they're smarter.
You know who they did say they was gonna bring on there though?
Who?
Quad, and I would have been here for it.
Quad could have did that. Yeah. Quad.
Because she's not married to medicine no more.
She's not.
No. I need her to stay on Married to Medicine so I can see her.
I mean,
her
I stopped
ex-husband
watching
and that
Married to
fiance.
Medicine season before last. I stopped watching Married to Medicine.
Quad and Kenya don't get along, so that'd be a whole thing. Yeah.
It would be good, right?
You need someone to versus Kenya. That's what makes the show good. Like
I can't stand Kenya myself, but that's a whole nother story.
Kenya can't stand herself.
Look, I want them to bring on Kiki Wyatt.
No.
She's too busy having kids.
Let me
Mama
tell you,
too
because I
busy
feel
having
like
kids.
Exactly, but I feel like she's the right bit of crazy to aggravate. Let me tell you why. To aggravate Miss I don't do nothing but collect the check Candy, because I need Candy to give me something. Because she's there for no reason.
Candy is the Atlanta version of Giselle, or I should say Giselle is that. Now Candy's not as messy as Giselle. Go with me. What I'm saying is they're never going to touch Candy, just like on Potomac. They're never going to touch Giselle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not saying they're the same person, but you always have that one cast member that no matter what happened, Miss Cohen and the people down there to the Bravos, that person is untouchable. Candy is untouchable on Atlanta. And for some reason, we saw it on full display this episode. Giselle is unfucking touchable.
Giselle is untouchable because of colorism. Like, that's not the only reason, but that's definitely like on her side. Whereas Candy, it's not because of that.
Now, shout out to my subscribers and the people who be in this chat, because was that not in this chat, Darren? Where I think it was Spicy Original. One of my members said colorism would have its own seat on the couch. That was in this chat where we were doing the panel discussion, and they were like, "Oh, don't worry." That was like episode 2 or 3. They were like, "Oh, don't worry, colorism will have a seat on the couch at the reunion." And sure enough, here the hell we are.
It's set for like about 2 minutes, literally.
I guess we have to start. We start off where Candace is still delivering her Sermon on the Mount, her soliloquy on the dwindling uterus of one Miss Giselle Bryant. Okay, I have a question, y'all. So, who is Giselle's dad? Because they said Giselle's dad is somebody I should know.
Apparently, he's an activist or the son of an activist. I think.
But I don't. What's his name? I don't know his name.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, if you should know his her dad." El Teddy, you know her dad. I said, "What's her dad's name?" And they never gave me the dad's name. So I don't know. What's her maiden name?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know Giselle's maiden name.
I thought it was Bryant.
No.
No, that's Jamal's last
Curtis
name.
Graves.
She never got rid of Jamal's last
She
name.
was married at one point.
Yeah.
El Teddy, you seen her daddy, Curtis Graves. Remember the hot mic moment when he was talking about
Oh yes, when they were in the restaurant. Was that last season?
I think it was.
That was.
I think it was.
When because that was last season was the season where they were pretending to be together, and he bought that restaurant that's with defunct and is no longer Curtis Graves. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, he was like the
actually no, I think it was 2 seasons.
One of like the African American representatives of Texas back in the day. Like he was real big in that part of it. So you probably know him. You just didn't realize that that's who her daddy was, because you know. She's just her.
Is he still with us?
Yes.
Yeah, he's still with us. He was at the restaurant last season where he told Giselle that Jamal Bryant ain't shit. Quiet as it's kept, you should be telling your daughter she ain't shit either. But that's a whole other story.
Well,
anyway, so we had the dissertation on the dwindling uterus that was proceeding. When we start back, they asked Giselle what Chris really did, at which point she had no response. She had no answer. She had nothing to offer. Raggedy ass Mia chimes in over and over and over on a situation that did not involve her. And I think collectively everybody from C to Shining C said, girl, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut up.
Shut up.
We all said that, and then Candace vocalized it in real.
Girl.
Like, yes, thank you. Shut that girl up. It didn't make any sense because why are you even defending Giselle anyway? Because didn't she try to come for your ass? I mean, these girls got amnesia.
I'm not even trying to be funny. I think Mia's kind of like, I don't want to say slow, but like.
Yeah, the high Q, not the high Q, the IQ.
She's just not very bright.
And she very much gives my IQ scores below 75.
That part. And like she just talks awkwardly into abyss. I think she doesn't read the room. She's one of those, you know what it is? She's one of those people like, it's like, no, we're laughing at you, not with you. And she thinks that we're laughing with her. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
I just thought silicone had made it up to her brain. So, something was off. But
that might be it. No, I can believe that. Like, and I know this was the first time during this episode. He did it several times last episode, but this is the first time this episode we see Andy with this balm or protection over Giselle, because he quickly, instead of letting them call her to the carpet about what she said about Chris, he was like, oh, well, we'll just wait till Chris comes. Let's just change the subject real fast.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was necessary for them to wait till Chris got there, because I mean, we absolutely can talk about it when Chris gets there, but you could talk about it before he gets there, because it was talked about amongst the women without Chris being, it was unfurled and unsheathed to the women without Chris being there. I understood him saying, well, let's just wait. But I do think that there were some questions that the ladies wanted to ask, and he just wanted to just shut them up and say, no, shut up. We ain't doing that right now to Giselle. We'll wait till Chris gets there. I want to see how he handles it there.
Giselle wasn't going to ever say anything. Like, she was just going to keep on with that stupid
There's
ass.
nothing to say.
Yeah, she wouldn't have said nothing. If they would have asked her, she would like, well, I just feel away. Like, she would have tried to divert the subject into something else. Like, he probably was like, you know what, fine, I ain't fucking with this right now. Like, I'm gonna just wait till Chris come, because we need to know what was said in this damn room.
Is Giselle a producer or no? Because they're saying that she is, but I haven't seen no receipts.
Producing what?
She want to be a producer.
She is a producer.
In her mind, she's a producer.
Okay, so she does not have a producer credit.
She ain't got shit.
Oh no, she doesn't have a producer credit.
But in
Everyone
her
just calls
mind,
her.
she's producing the show.
Everyone calls her a
Like
producer.
she got it.
I mean,
Because production loves her.
Yeah, they probably come to her and say, "What's the tea?" And she probably gives it to them because she knows everything. Air quotes. But no, she ain't no producer, child.
I feel like she's one of those people that's just willing to do whatever the producers tell her, as long as okay. But as long as y'all don't talk about me, I'm waiting for the producers to turn on her.
I told you she's the. Obviously, they think she's the golden cow, like Candy, and she could do no wrong, and we can't say anything bad about Giselle. There's this protection around her, this balm around her that's just. I don't understand it. I really don't. But that's the colorism at work.
Yeah.
Because
there's no other way to explain it but that. Like, what is it? She's not that smart. She ain't that goddamn pretty. She's not entertaining. So why she's not the reason why we're watching the show. Yeah. So what is it?
You know what? Not she produced a lot of kids down to the Bryant Church. I'm not doing that.
Or she could be,
No. So I will say, if we watch Giselle from season 1 on, you can tell that she's how can I say this? She understands how to use what she has to get what she wants, and she knows how to play on those things. So if you actually watch the evolution of Giselle, you can see her go from just kind of asking questions, figuring things out, trying to be, a little nosy, a little messy, to, you can see the production story headed this way, and Giselle is moving it right along that way. So
she's very calculated.
Yes,
I
she's
wouldn't
very
call her
calculated.
Smart, but she's definitely strategic.
Yes.
And calculated.
Oh yeah, you can just see it.
So why don't the girls see it, or are they just scared of her? Because that's the shit.
That's the part that baffles my mind. That is the part. It's not the Giselle to me. It's how all of these women interact with her and acquiesce to her, coalesce with her. All of these things they do to appease her or to want to. Now, they're probably inherently aware that she is the golden cow that can't be touched as well. So they know that if they want to stay on this show, it's probably a good idea to have her in their good graces, which is why there's always this attempt to reconcile with this raggedy whore.
Yeah, that's true. Because remember,
think about all of the people who have been iced out. Giselle has orchestrated it. Think about all of the major drama every season. Go back and look. Giselle orchestrates it. That's why I get so angry, because Giselle will be the one that starts it or plants the seed to someone else, and that someone else goes, either carries the bone or carries out whatever covert or overt mission she has for them. And then the people involved end up being mad with each other, never mad with Giselle. And we get to the goddamn reunion. Nobody got no smoke for Giselle, even though she was the bitch that started the shit.
Started everything.
Yeah. That would explain why Wendy came up to her in the beginning. And remember, she was like, "Hi, Giselle," and she was like, "No touchy, no touchy." I always wonder why she did that, because she's trying to get back in her graces.
And Giselle was like, "You're next on the chopping block."
She treated her like she had herpes.
I can't wait, because this always happens with these reality TV shows and these groups of people where, there's too many people getting along right now. We gotta break up this group right here. It's the next thing is going to be Robin versus Giselle. Mark my words.
I don't think Robin makes it to next season.
I always predict to be.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think she's gone. I think Robin got her pink slip.
Oh, so you think she's gonna be going? She's gonna be out already?
At 30 minutes, they're about to give her next episode.
Yeah.
I feel like that was for your 7 seasons. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I think that might telling us that.
That might hinder Giselle later on, because if Robin ain't there, I mean, it's just Giselle. At the end of the day, the group collectively don't fuck with Giselle.
It's still a lot of women that's up her ass. You got Ashley.
No, and the other thing is she still has Ashley. While Robin hangs from her labia majora.
Oh,
Ashley is the one who usually conspires with Giselle.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it. At some point early in every season, Ashley and Giselle have this get together, this sit down where they lay out, okay, this is what we doing this season. Remember season 5? I think it was episode 1 or 2, where they had the whole thing about Monique and the trainer, where the baby allegedly wasn't Chris's baby, and they were going to do this whole thing. That was supposed to be the whole thing with the baby. Remember, it was supposed to be Chris. That they didn't know if that was Chris' baby because they had receipts about her, being with the trainer. That was, and they sat down in that pumpkin patch or wherever the hell they was, and they conspired about that. Remember, last season, it was Giselle, when Giselle went over to Ashley's house after the baby was born. She was talking about eating her placenta, and they hashed out the whole Wendy and Eddie situation, and so forth. And if you go back to, was that season 4 when they were at Candace's house, and she told fucking Ashley to get the hell out, and Giselle is the one who went and told Ashley to go back in that woman's house.
And I think that was also the same season that, like, I think that's when the shit came out about Michael Darby sucking dick and all this other shit. And Ashley said in her confessional, she's like, yeah, usually Giselle's the one that gets it started, and I'm the one that stirs the pot. But now I'm the one. So they already have admitted that, like,
they don't like the
dynamic.
That shit happens every season, where it's Giselle will start it, Ashley will be the one that will carry it out. Every season.
So it's going to take Ashley to turn the tide.
That's why Ashley is such a horrible. That's why I can't now. And when we get to the colorism section, we could really break that down. Ashley is probably, I'm not going to say probably, absolutely the worst person on this show.
I think Giselle is.
Yeah, I agree. It's between the two.
Ashley has said some of the worst things out of her mouth and done some of the worst things on this show. Let's just be brutally honest.
El Teddy, I'm gonna say it like this: Ashley is Texas and Giselle is Florida.
Yes,
they fight for it. they definitely spar for the worst, and at some point, Ashley is definitely the worst, and then sometimes
But
Giselle
the one thing that I would say about Giselle is Giselle will sit back and try to call it what you want. She'll try to have some couth about her.
Oh yeah.
Ashley gets as ratchet, low down, gutter as Ashley gets way low down, gutter, and everything. Ashley goes right down to the gutter. Where Giselle will try to be self-righteous and pious about when she does things.
I mean, Ashley get it from under the bridge where her mama lives. So
right,
I mean,
she was raised underneath the bridge. So,
but again, that's just that colorism protecting her because it doesn't get called out for being gutter and nasty and stuff like that.
That's the point that I'm making.
As soon as like Wendy or anyone with a brown hue, expresses any sort of emotion, it's labeled as like, aggression, ferocious.
Hey J12.
Fury.
Okay.
What? Oh, I'm just waiting for the colorism conversation because
this is
I'm sorry.
So then we have they go through the whole debunking of Ashley's friends and their lies, Madam the Muppet, and as I like to call Deborah, and her lies. And Ashley literally had the audacity to say, well, my friends stand by it, and they say that it's production that changed the words, and the words of on screen didn't match up with what was said in person. So they're trying to hide what he really said. Really?
And let me just say something about that because, okay, so we're talking now. My first question, the video that they showed us, was that security footage? Because that looked like it was up at a wall or something. It looked like it was definitely very much security footage with audio. Now, I could be mistaken. It could be, was it production?
I'm not sure.
Because it looked like it was up in the ceiling. Now, my second point, I edit audio. Okay, I can hear when audio clips. That means that it's been edited. That means that it was changed around to alter what the person said. They played that shit fully through. Yeah. Okay, there was no clipping. What he said is what he said. So for Ashley to sit there and make up that lie, and then for Andy to just be like, okay, all right.
Right. Yeah. But here's the deal. Y'all accused this man of sexually assaulting them. Y'all said he was feeling on people's asses and getting all touchy-feely and everything. And we didn't see any of that. And the other part about it, even if it didn't match up with the language, y'all didn't seem to have no problem. I didn't see y'all walking away from him. I didn't see nobody that gave the appearance that, who are you talking to? Why are you talking? I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like, it just does not add up. And Ashley, who refuses to say, well, I was wrong. You know what? I got that wrong. You know what? I could have been. She was, well, my friends stand by that, and I don't know them to be wrong. Bitch, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's why she don't deserve that. She deserves everything that she gets. I know her pussy stank. I hate to say that, but it's just
that's why your ass ain't get a damn.
I'm sorry. She just gives stinky coochie.
Definitely, like remember them little cone like corn chip things. Yeah, it's giving that.
Ooh, that's her coochie thing.
You have bad days, but she just gives like an eternal stinky coochie vibe.
Ooh.
Ashley got that look. You know, some people got that look, just like Bruno Mars got that look, like they okay.
That musty energy that I talked about with Wendy's mama.
Because black people.
Wendy's mom. Hold on, wait.
Black people, we like to stay clean. Especially black women. Black women go smell like some kind of fragrance at every moment you touch them. She gets into that Caucasian side where she smells like
Not it's them cone shaped things. It's like a corn chip, but it's in a cone. It look like a cone.
She smells like dirty nickels, is what she smells.
Not dirty nickels, child.
They are over here clowning in the chat. Not she smell like
Bungles. Exactly.
Ferment. Bugles.
Bugles. What I say? I said bungles. Bitch, I'm already drunk.
You know she don't bathe.
She don't bathe daily. She does. It ain't her whole body. I'm not doing this with y'all.
You like bungles? Bugles? Ooh, no.
Yeah. Oh, y'all are stupid. Okay. Y'all are stupid. Shout out to the people in the chat. Shout out to all y'all in the chat. Can we get a like or a dislike? We'll put like or dislike. It doesn't matter to me. Shout out to the people in the chat.
Not corn nuts. What?
And the people in the bushes. You know what? I'm not one of these content creators that hate on people in the bushes. I be in a lot of bushes, and the bushes are the only place where you could be hiding and doing some dirty things on your knees. Because if you out in public, people gonna watch you. But if you in the bushes, people ain't watching you. You could do a lot of things on your knees in the bushes, and we just gonna leave it like that. Shout out to all the people in the bushes probably doing some things on their knees. Watch out for the ants, because that's the bad thing about the bushes. You get bit by ants.
How did we get here?
Not in the bushes. Child.
We in the house of debauchery that we tend to get here often.
We get here quite often. Next, they discuss Candace's IG live. And then Robin and Candace went back and forth about why Robin played the recording. We come to find out that Candace actually said good things about Robin, and Robin didn't even. It was sent to me by a blind. Nobody seen you a goddamn thing, you raggedy whore.
Like
they could have, and they just showed that part.
And even if they did, what I want to say is this. Excuse me, as a YouTuber, if somebody tells me somebody said something about me, I don't take their word for it. I'm going to go and I'm going to watch before the part that they told me to go watch, and I'm going to watch after the part, because I want to see the full context of what they say. I need to see all of it, because maybe that person only saw a small part and they got it wrong. So I can't just go like, anytime I've had to, we talked about the Book of Darkness, I think that was before we started the live. anytime I've had to do that, I didn't go and just go out. Oh, somebody sent me something, said somebody talked about me. I had to go back and watch because I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what I wanted to hear for myself exactly what was said, how it was delivered, the context. So that way, if I did have to come and scold, drag a bitch, I felt safe in saying, yeah, I did it. I'm not apologizing. It is what it is. Get over it.
Yeah, it was warranted.
And so I don't feel like Robin did that. Robin didn't do her due diligence.
Yeah, she did not admit she was wrong with that damn reunion. I'm like, girl. And then Candace was like, well, we're friends. We hung out. We're Candace.
I told y'all when Candace trying to be friends with. We talked about this, Darren. Why Candace wants to be friends with Robin. We don't have to rehash that, but we talked about it. We remember.
Yeah, but she still need to stand up and put her big girl drawers on.
Like, because it's at some point people just gonna get tired of defending you.
Okay, thank you. Like, I'm done.
Y'all know I done been dragging Candace and Wendy several times this season. Why the fuck are you apologizing to these raggedy hoes?
Oh yeah.
See, why are you? Hey, Ravine. Hey, Weezy. Everybody coming up out the bushes because they don't want to be seen as a bush watcher anymore.
Anyway, they don't want the ants. They don't want past the ants.
Just brush them all. Anyway, but my thing about it is this. The Capricorn in me, I ain't about the business of apologizing. And I ain't about the business of accepting apology. If you said it, you meant it. We can get past it. You don't have to apologize because I'm damn sure not going to apologize. If I said it, yeah, I meant it at that time. Do I have more information now? Sure. I may not still feel the same way, but at that time, with all of the information available to me at that time, yeah, I felt that way. And you needed to be drugged. And you got handed some drug problems. You was drugged up and down the good streets.
That was
hey, daddy of the baby. Mr. Medusa, show off.
We gone, child, but thank you.
Let me find out Medusa got a cute baby daddy and husband over there. She gonna have all of the women's ears and some of the music fawning over her husband. You better have your shotgun ready because the people gonna be coming after your husband. You better have you a good old 9mm.
Why do you think I keep them tucked? Why do you think I keep them tucked away?
I know. Listen, on my channel, when I started my channel back up a couple years ago, I was dating. My boyfriend I know what I had. He never came on camera. You would hear him. There were videos, you could hear him in the background, but that bitch never came on camera. We didn't play that shit. One time he shut my whole line down. He had a key to my house, walked in and said, "Didn't I tell you not to be live? Shut that shit down." And the video got shut down. And I had only been live for like 5 or 6 minutes.
Oh, wait.
I think that live is still up.
Hold on. Y'all don't want y'all peoples on the camera, but like when we had a conversation about people talking in hotel rooms.
That's different.
A conversation about what?
Well, remember when we was talking last week and we was like, oh, like if I can't trust you, then I wouldn't I'm okay with leaving my man alone with somebody. It's a little different. I'm not trying to invite havoc into my home. That's
right. I'm not saying that I don't trust him, but I ain't gonna create the whole situation.
Right.
I'm just saying
I'm not gonna help. Just like when I leave this good house, every bitch with me, everybody is leaving with me. You're not staying in this house with my man. I don't give a shit where the fuck you go.
All right.
And I'm not staying in this house.
All right, and I'm gonna just say this: let me tell you something. If I was Candace, I want to know what was the conversation, how it started, what happened, what you say, what did she say?
Now I have every reason to believe, knowing Candace doesn't act because Candace don't mind going there with Chris. I have every reason to believe Candace has had that conversation and said, "What the fuck did you tell this bitch?" Because she knows how Giselle is. I don't need no surprises. Because anything you said to this whore, that bitch is going to repeat. And the fact that she hasn't repeated anything from that conversation tells me nothing was said in that conversation she had with Chris.
But to this day, we don't know what the fuck they was talking about.
Or something she doesn't want to let out.
We do know what they was talking about. See, this is the problem. She said it at the beginning of the season, the first episode, and they went back and she was like, I told Robin about this conversation. This is what happened. And Robin was like, nothing happened. Like, girl, bye, move on. So she did say, she said, oh, I thought my glam squad was in the room. They weren't in the room. I felt uncomfortable. He was venting to me about what was going on with Candace and how she was being treated on stage. And then I said, okay, can you go get somebody outside? And he went and got the person and came back. And Robin said, did he touch you? No. Did he do anything? No. Did he do anything to make you uncomfortable? No. I just didn't want to be in a room with a married man. And she was like, girl, that's nothing. Move on. The problem is Giselle has changed that story 17 doggone times.
She changed the story.
I'm going with the first story because the first story made sense when Robin was like,
because and now happened. If you remember, Tracy, if I remember correctly, Giselle is the one who said, let's go to my room because she thought her glam squad was there.
That part was unclear. Either was her or him. We don't know.
Confirmed.
So Giselle never confirmed who said, let's go to the room.
Right.
But I remember she said she thought her glam squad was there.
Yes, she did say she thought her glam squad was there, but she never said if Chris said, let's go to the room and she was okay going because she thought her glam squad was there, or if she told Chris, let's go to my room because she thought the glam squad was there. She never cleared up that part. But the rest of the story, it made sense. And here is my problem, right? This is why I tell y'all, Giselle normally has a production meeting with her friends on the cast to get her story together because she thinks things, but she doesn't realize the words that she's saying and making it make sense. Like, she doesn't think the long way out. She thinks, she thinks like, oh, I'm going to do this.
The thing about it is, if you knew you were going to be uncomfortable, there's no way that Chris would say, let's go to your room. And you'd be like, oh, okay. If you know you have discomfort with being in a room by yourself, you know what I'm saying? If Chris says, let's go to your room and talk, and you know that you have a problem being in a room with, that's why the glam squad part makes sense. Because if Chris did say, let's go somewhere and have a conversation, let's maybe go to your room and have a conversation, she thought the glam squad was there. So she wouldn't have a problem with that, or even if she did. So that whole being in a hotel room, neither one of them thought that they would have been in the room by themselves.
Correct. So I will say the only part that I could understand Giselle on is you don't want to be a single person alone with a married person. Okay, fine. That piece I can give you, right? On either side. On either way it goes, that's the only piece I can give you. But as soon as Robin asks you, well, did he do something to you? No. Did he say something to you? No. Well, I asked him to go out there and get somebody. He immediately left and went and got the person. What? Okay. So now everything you say after this to me is causing problems. And I will say this, when she had the sit down at Karen's house and had a conversation with her words were also very selective because Karen is a survivor of SA. And she knows that about Karen. Yeah. So when she used the words with Karen, she chose very selective words to make it seem like, it's putting you in that position. Then the words that she used with Ashley were different to make it seem like, oh no, he's trying to get with everybody, which would make sense why her friend would say, oh, and she would go with this story of him in the DM.
And then we had Mia at one point trying to perpetuate this whole, narrative out of no fucking where. Remember when Mia met up with Robin, and Robin was asking her all of those questions about the tweet, and then Mia was like, yeah, because Chris made me feel uncomfortable too one time. And I was like, girl, what the fuck?
Right. But then remember last season she also said something about like, oh yeah, that's where your husband tossed my salad.
Yep.
Just Mia just be throwing anything out there.
She ain't anything because she ain't got this.
Anything.
You don't know how to read.
Ravine said, Chris said in an interview that Giselle invited him to the room, but they will discuss it in more detail next episode. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, because I need Chris's side of the story because we really didn't get his side. Well, he really didn't talk about it too much. He just kept on saying, "Oh, ain't nothing ever happened." But I'm like, okay, but what was y'all talking about? Like, I get it. Like, I literally get it. Like, Giselle, nothing happened to Giselle, nothing physically, nothing. Okay, whatever. But I just want to know what was said, what led up to
They
them
was talking
getting
about
into the
your
room.
girl.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
You just won't let this
if
go.
that was the case, that shouldn't have been a problem to say. Like, this damn host was getting in on my girl too much. Okay,
I don't see why they would have to go to her hotel room to talk about that though. So that's
my thing. We could have went to the side. We could have went around the corner. Let's go to the bar.
Yeah.
Something.
That don't make no sense.
Mm-hmm. But you scared of the barbs? We scared you, Chris?
He has every right to be afraid of you psycho people. You people are psychopaths.
I mean,
whatever.
Hey, don't be getting people's addresses and shit and threatening
right.
Exactly.
Y'all be doxing people and showing up at people's
when you
front
think
doors.
about that out loud, it makes sense why Chris wanted to go in private and have that conversation. Because if he would have had
Xavier,
his Alabaster stuff on that
Xavier is a
TV,
barb. Xavier right there with you, Darren. You barbs and you beehive people. Your people are psychopaths.
listen, I'm telling you right now.
Look.
All I'm simply saying is if they'd have had that Alabaster man on national TV talking crazy about Nicki Minaj, the barbs would have been at their house.
He tried to do that at the end though. He was saying
they
would have been at they would have been at Candace's house. They would have been at Mama Dot's house. They would have been at her sister Crystal's house. They would have been at Chris' house, Chris' mama house, Chris' baby mama house, and the 3 kids that he has.
Job.
They would have been all over the place.
I'm sorry, I know this is totally off subject, but speaking of Chris' baby mamas, I don't know. It's just something about this white man not having contact with his kids. And them not.
I mean, they were on last season, weren't they?
That was 2. He got 3.
Yeah.
Y'all give that Alabaster man all that. No, y'all give that Alabaster man all that grace. When that Joker sat up there and said he has no contact with his first kid at all whatsoever, and when he wasn't working, and Candace said when he wasn't working, she was paying his child support. I said, I know you lying.
Candace.
Yes, Candace. Girl, season 3.
Candace, you paying
when she first came on, if y'all go back and listen to what Candace said about Chris, oh my gosh. Girl, go back. She said,
y'all have to go back and remember that.
Oh, listen, this is why I don't like that Alabaster man at all whatsoever. Because you can't tell me nothing.
I hate it when
let
Candace
that colonizer move up in your mama house and not pay no doggone bills. I
hate
you
it when
lying.
She said he had a brown penis trying to equate his penis. That shit pissed me the hell off.
Yeah,
I was trying to say
Chris. Let me not say it. Never mind.
And she was describing it down to the tip. She said,
first of all,
brown on the shaft and pink on the tip.
You don't need to worry about
what Can I be real though? When I first saw Chris, I ain't gonna lie. Like I was like, is it a little
you
bit?
Thought he was light skinned? You thought he was light skinned?
Don't insult light skinned people like that.
It's giving logic a little bit.
I'm not a part of the light skinned delegation. They can get whatever they get. I am a part of the dark skin coalition, not the light skin delegation.
Alabaster. Because if Eddie had a kid that he wasn't taking care of, y'all wouldn't get off his back. If Ray wasn't taking care of one of his kids, y'all wouldn't. They would never give any black man that.
Now IMC Brown says is Chris the reason he doesn't see his kids, or is the baby mama the reason he don't see his kids?
I don't care what reason it was. When that Joker stopped working at that Joker stopped working at that barbecue place that Candace paid his child support for 4 months.
I don't agree.
That let me, girl.
But the men ain't have no job nowhere in America.
I don't give a good. Listen, they got day labor. You can absolutely not. They got day labor.
El Teddy, these people are on TV. You don't think that mother would be like, all right, you want to make a storyline?
Come on. Yeah. Unless you have legal rights to your child. If you want to see them, you will. Period.
Again, y'all give that Alabaster man way too much grace.
I don't give nobody shit. I don't like none of these hoes. All the most people burn in hell. As far as I'm concerned. All of them. We did go to lunch, and then we had the most cringe-worthy moment in the history of all of television: the small screen, big screen, and any other screen ever created in all of the annals of mankind. Robin Dixon uttered out of her mouth, quote, "I need to go change my tampon," end quote. At which time I immediately ran to my bathroom and had projectile style violent vomiting for the next 15 minutes.
That was so random and
why would you just say, "Oh, I gotta use the bathroom real quick"? Oh, excuse me, I just need. Excuse me. That's all you have to say. Like, no coof. You classless whore. Who announces that?
Somebody got mad and put in my comments, "Why is it a problem with you having you got a problem with women having periods?" I have no problem with women having periods, but I do have a problem with you telling me that you got to go change your tampon. It would be like you announcing, "Oh, I need to go take a shit because I got a wet duke coming."
That's basically.
Or if you want to take it to a gender situation, I found the perfect example. If you wanted to make it gender specific, it would be like one of the husbands announcing, "Hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom because I feel like it's time to clean the schmegma from around my penis." That would be disgusting, wouldn't it? That would be utterly disgusting, wouldn't it? I mean, it's a natural part of, if you have a man that has an uncircumcised penis, they have to clean the smegma around their penis.
That's what you was thinking?
They don't announce that, do they?
But I had a whole different thought about it. I really thought that it was Robin trying to make sure y'all, really thought that she was a woman because her coochie made it play like ferrets.
But we don't.
Or the fact that she is still like able to birth a child. So maybe now that they got married, she gonna have a baby is her new storyline again. I don't know what she's trying to do.
Seasons in, Robin. There's no changing how we feel about you. You are 7 seasons in. We are not changing how we feel about you. You raggedy ass whore.
Oh, that's your girl. You liked her.
Who? I like who?
You loved your Delta sister. Don't play. I remember early season about Robin. Don't change up now.
I don't change anything. I call it as I see. When people have things that is the right thing, and when people have things that are the wrong thing, I'm gonna call out what's right and what's wrong in any situation. I don't like none of these hoes. None of them. Everybody done been drugged with reckless abandon. Everybody.
Yeah, I thought that was gross. I'm glad you made note of that because I forgot to mention it in my review.
It was disgusting.
Gross. Yeah.
Anyway, then we have Robin. I'm sorry. Then they discuss Karen and her lying and stealing ideas from everybody. She's such a liar. Karen, you too old not to be a good liar.
I agree.
Rabin say Delta is not claiming Robin Dixon. She pledged at the University of Maryland. I know her and her line sisters. I know several of her line sisters. I remember when she played. What line was that? That was it spring 2000? I think she was on that a spring line. But I remember when she played Delta at University of Maryland, College Park.
Well, I'm upset that they let a white woman into their sorority. I just feel like something about that.
There are white people in every fraternity and sorority in the Divine Nine.
I have a problem with it. And
there are white people in every fraternity and sorority in the Divine Nine.
I have a problem with them too. Okay. Shit.
Rabin, I don't know if she financial. Baby, I don't know if she financial. I have no idea. Baby, that is between her and Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, who I love and adore. Those are my girls, the Delta, AKAs. I ain't even gonna talk about them.
Don't do your girl Giselle like that.
I don't like that whore. She fits right in with the rest of the AKAs.
Okay, thank you. Like Giselle is a walking epitome, like a walking stereotype, a walking negative stereotype.
Ethel head's been loud, and the rest of the girls are smiling down probably at Giselle and her antics. Anyway, so y'all have any commentary on Karen Lyon? Look at Jace. I knew that was gonna get J12, aka I was just trying to get you out of the bushes, J12, aka. I knew you was in here from the beginning. I said, let me get J12, aka, because Janae is the Sigma Gamma Rho too. Now, if I say something about Sigma Gamma Rho, and they need to be glad that we allowed them to have that centennial last year, she might come out the bushes too.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? I know who all my members are. We got Deltas, and look at Quintessential. We got a Zeta in the building. Listen, we got all four of the sororities from the Divine Nine represented tonight. We got Ravine, who's the Delta. We got J12, aka, who's the AKA. We got Janae, who's the Sigma Gamma Rho. We got Quintessential, who's the Zeta. We got y'all all here. I can handle a good nuke can handle all four of y'all at one time. I got enough to go around.
All I know
You can handle this.
is
Anyway. Look at her now. She putting ski weed in the comment section. You need to get your soror though. You need to get your soror, Giselle Bryant, because Wendy is a great representation of AKA. Wendy really is. I will give Wendy. She's a great representation of AKA. Now Giselle Bryant, on the other hand,
she's a walking.
Robin is also not a good representation of Delta.
She's not. She's classless.
But you know what? I will say like this.
There's a bad representation of an AKA on every show.
The Robin that I see on this show is not the Robin that I met way back at the University of Maryland.
Was that broke Robin?
Well, Robin was never broke. Her parents got money.
Yeah. No. So there is, if you've noticed the evolution of Robin, right? There was broke Robin who was tolerable, and now Robin, now that she got a little bit of coin back, she's not. She's even worse of a person. Because I mean, not to be funny, when you're taking money from your parents, it's a little more humbling, right? As an adult who got kids and is still living with your ex-husband because y'all can't afford to not live together. You know, that's a different sort of humbling, right? So that's a different level of humbling. But now that she got, you know, them tacky hats, she got this terrible podcast, she got the checks from this show, she got her coinage back up a little bit. Now she's feeling herself a little more.
Y'all got people falling out of the bushes just to comment. Mother of one said no comments on the sorority. 30. Yaya. Shout out to everybody popping up out the bushes. Y'all got tired of them ants biting y'all. Said Roughneck Rob. I'm not doing this with y'all.
I'm just saying, because if you've noticed, Robin with a little money is different than broke Robin.
Yeah.
Like it's different. Her
the
energy
Robin I
is
met
different.
when she was an undergrad was very different from the Robin that I see on this screen, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
We did switch topics where there's more Andy Cohen coddling Giselle. So cue small violins, cue music that's supposed to be sympathetic to Giselle and her dwindling uterus. We discussed Giselle and her hysterectomy, and it went longer than I thought it was supposed to go. And they were so concerned about me. And she tried to conjure up tears that never came. And we all were cueing the small little violins like, girl, nobody cared. Why? And this is where the colorism came in. Because that woman spent 90 seconds of the very last episode of the season talking about what she had going on with her medical condition.
Right.
Wendy fully flushed out. We saw from before Wendy had any issues, them saying you doing too much, to her having complications and saying I need to sit down, to her being rushed to the emergency room where her husband was there for her, to the aftermath where her mother had to come and help her recover and recuperate with her kid. We saw all of that flushed out.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 32 seconds spent on it in this reunion, but y'all wanted to spend 12 minutes on letting Giselle try to conjure up some sympathy for a situation she never tried to give to us at the first in the beginning.
Yeah.
And there was clear colorism there in the inequality there.
Yeah.
I
mean,
feel like
Andy
colorism, colorism is what humanizes Giselle and light-skinned women like her, whereas it works on the opposite end with dark-skinned women. Like, it doesn't show the human side of them, and we're getting to it.
What I don't understand is I don't understand why anybody is surprised. Give me anything from Giselle's life from past seasons that was more than 15 minutes.
You won't get it.
She doesn't. This is nothing new. Giselle gives you about 15 minutes of her life every season. That's it. That is all. That is her max.
Then you had
why
Robin,
anybody
who had
surprised?
the audacity to say, "Oh, well, everything we do should be on the show, on camera." It's a
Bravo went, and then Bravo went and showed it.
Right back in. Oh, girl, you're a liar.
Well, they did kind of check her at that. Andy did say, well, it seems like, well, he read a comment. He said that, I think it said something to the effect that
You're right, Spicy Original. Nobody knew she had. I think Spicy Original, if I'm not mistaken, you are the one who said that colorism would have a seat on the couch. I think it was Spicy Original who said colorism would have a seat on the couch at the reunion back then. I think that was episode 2 when we were doing the panel.
So, I mean, Robin's tagline just hits different now because her tagline was the when it comes to the truth, I always arrive on time. I'm just realizing how much of a hypocrite this entire season Robin has been. It's just because she had, what was that last season where she had that clinical depression out of nowhere that nobody had ever seen for 6 years prior. But it makes sense if your husband or fiance or soon to be, baby daddy was cheating on you. It would make sense that you had depression, but you didn't want to tell us what that was.
And also saying that he wasn't attracted to you. Don't forget that part.
He did.
I mean, why would he be attracted to you? He's cheating on you. That normally happens when somebody is actively cheating. Because according to the receipt, he was talking to that girl for over a year.
Wow.
So he was actively cheating.
I didn't get into it. I don't know what the new allegation, but there's new allegation that there's some. I don't know if it's the same chick or a new chick that he's sleeping with since the marriage.
No,
new chick. New chick. But listen,
we're not surprised.
I will say this. So it's
and here's the other truth to the matter. Let's be clear. Robin is a basketball wife. Let's be brutally honest.
Yeah.
And as a basketball wife, this will come out harsh, but these are things that you become used to. As a basketball wife, you know your husband is out of town a third of the year, at least, if not almost half the year.
And out of town, was cute.
On the road. You have every skank and groupie across the fruited plains doing everything to have his spoon dipped into their sugar bowl. You think every now and again, even the strongest willed of men, after a while, I'm just being brutally honest. Shit happens. Yeah. You on the road that long, your wife ain't there, dick get hard. I need to get, you got, and when I say every groupie, you got the finest of the fines to the ugly of the ugliest.
Oh, to the Deborahs? Okay.
Yes. And everything in between.
I'm done. Not the Deborahs.
And so what I'm saying is, Robin is used to Juan, indiscretion.
It comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory.
At this point, she's telling that man, just cover your tracks.
He's been used to that since college.
Yeah,
he was a star at University of Maryland, if you remember. I think they won a national championship when Juan Dixon was there.
And bro, a little fine.
And Juan is fine as fuck. Ain't a little bit fine. Juan was fine back then. Juan is still fine now.
Ooh. I mean,
Robin knows.
If you think Juan with millions, he was extra fine.
Yeah,
Juan was fine. Millions. Listen, Juan. Listen, let's be clear. Robin knows what she's done. What she signed up for. She knew.
She knows what she got.
She know what she got. So, and that's why when people come out, oh, Juan cheated. Robin is not new to the game. She's a basketball wife. She's new. She know what's going on. That's just like, think about Snoop Dogg wife. Remember Snoop Dogg wife famously said, "I know my husband cheating on me left, right, and sideways." Mm-hmm. Sure is. I know exactly what's going on.
Well,
this is what I signed up for.
I mean, can I ask y'all a question?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I have a theory behind why I think this. But do y'all think Michael Darby gave them money, Robin and Juan?
Yeah.
Because I promise you,
Do you think so?
She gave him something. He gave him something, maybe some dick, maybe some head, maybe something. But he gave him something. Shit. Because ain't no way in hell. What black man do you know? I'm sorry, Tracy, you done got me started. Because what black man do you know will be comfortable with another man talking about I want to suck his dick?
I really feel like
some random Australian man that old ass Australian man at that.
Saying it out loud in front of a group of people for anybody to hear it. Every black man I know from his era would have punched him in his fucking mouth. So what's the tea?
I really feel like when they were really struggling, you know, Michael was like, "Oh, you cute. I got the money. You know what we do over here at this household, at the Derby household." He slid him a little, you know.
I think so too.
I think Michael might have dropped the knob and broke Juan and Robin off with a little something.
What Wendy say? What Wendy said? Denial is a river in Egypt. Your husband is
a dick
gay.
Australian.
Look, I'm just saying, because I really feel like I don't know. It's just something in my spirit that tells me it's giving gay for pay. I don't know. It's just something that tells me.
I hated how they skimmed past it at the reunion. He was like, Juan got real defensive. I would have respected him. Like, man, that's Michael. That's my homeboy. We ain't taking Michael seriously. Something, but he just skimmed past it and didn't say nothing about it. It's like, wait a minute, hold up.
I mean, for the right price, I guess you'll keep quiet.
Look, here's the thing, though. I've seen. Let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of guys, straight guys, air quotes, make jokes like that before, though. Like it's definitely common. I've seen things. I've seen people touch people. This is back in high school, but you know.
I said grown man.
Grown.
Listen, not just grown man. It's grown men on national TV.
Darren. You're talking about grown men from my generation. Me and Juan, I think, are the exact same age.
Okay.
Me and Juan are the same age.
Come on.
And I know that generation. My generation is that hedge point in between old school and new school. Because we were raised by old school and we grew up new school. And so we were kind of caught in between the knowing what it was before the internet, growing up before the internet, but being adults when the internet came along. So my point is, Juan still got some of that old mentality in him.
Okay.
And the old mentality, they don't play that fuck shit.
They don't exactly.
They will clear that shit up real fast. That shit will be cleared up now. Some people, they're not gonna be disrespectful about it, but please be clear. They're gonna clear it up and they're gonna be very direct about it. Now that shit ain't going on, bruh. Whatever you got going on, that's your deal. Don't come at me with that shit.
Juan never did that.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
You know what?
That's what I gotta go with.
I don't think Juan.
I gotta go with Medusa. That
I don't think Juan actually did anything with Michael. I think it was one of those just beat off in the corner and I'ma watch. And Michael was like, "Yay!" I don't know. It's
the
just
point is,
so all white men will pay a lot of money just to watch a black man jack off.
They
just to watch them jack off.
The point is, Juan never shut that shit down. Juan never said, "Hey, bro, I don't play that shit. Don't play with me like that, bro."
Because Juan know where his bread is buttered. Juan ain't stupid.
For example, I have a lot of men in my chat. They be in the bushes, and some of them be, in the chat that are very straight. And I don't even come at them like that. I know who is and who is not about whatever life. For example, Jason. Jason is a mod. I wouldn't come at Jason and be like, "Oh, Jason, what you got going on over?" I wouldn't, because I know, you know what I'm saying? That shit is disrespectful. And if I did, Jason would come right out and say, bruh, you know I don't even get down like that. They'll tell you, don't even come at me. You know what I'm saying? And so there will be a clear. That's what I'm saying. That generation one is the same. I know how we think. We come from a generation where you be real direct and real clear. Bro, I don't get down like that.
Well, child,
Like if a chick comes to me like that, and they, hey El Teddy, hey boo, I don't get down like that. Your powers don't work on me. Don't come at me like this no more. Cause I'm not gonna tell you no more. I don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? We be real clear. We don't even play the fence. We don't even try to play it halfway. Nah, bro. I'm telling you, I hang around a lot of straight men. And the straight men, if they're even the ones that are cool, they'll be like, hey dog, do your thing, you my person. But if you come at them, they gonna do it real respect. Hey, bro, I respect you, whatever you got going on, but that's not my. I don't get down like that. That ain't how I roll. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. Just don't disrespect me like that. And a real one will say, I appreciate that, bro. I got you. You ain't got to worry about me. But them raggedy ass. See, some new schools don't take no for an answer, and that's how people get fucked up.
Okay, well,
that right there is how people
wait. We ain't gonna be all right. The new school, first of all, we don't even be in the environment. For one, not in. We're not in your spaces. We're not in your spaces. You are in our spaces. You are in our spaces.
Whether or not you know it, Darren, there's a good percentage of new schools that only want to deal with old school. Yeah. And that's in every generation. Every generation
caught up with the James
that
Charles
percentage
stories.
that say, I don't want to deal with my own people. I need me an older man.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm sorry to derail y'all. It was just something about that just I just needed some clarification. So I'm sorry to derail y'all.
Well, my name
I'm sorry. That on topic. So Andy asked Giselle why she won't share any of her personal information, but always spreading everybody else personal information. And as soon as the women started to chime in, Andy quickly changed the topic. Yeah. It wasn't even like they could. I think Wendy started to say something, and then Candace started to say something, and Andy quickly said, all right, we're going to change subject. And I was like, wait, what? We're not going to flush this out. Because this is certainly something that needs 30 minutes, even a whole segment of the reunion to itself.
Well, you know why that
got a hold on Andy at some point, like Andy, because my thing is he be giving it to him with the white girl. So I'm like, what's the difference with Giselle?
Giselle's his new Nene. Duh. Giselle's his new Nene. And the difference is Giselle ain't gonna step that far.
Giselle is the Candace. I keep telling you.
No.
I'm saying challenge Nene though. Andy used to challenge Nene.
But no. So listen, Giselle is the new Nene to Andy, and the difference is Giselle ain't gonna step too far out of line like Nene would. Giselle ain't gonna go super far left with Andy. She ain't gonna do it. So it's like, oh, I get the black adjacent. I get this black woman to to play off of and give me these things and all this good stuff. But she isn't gonna go try and sue me. She isn't gonna go so far to try and super check me over here because we mutually need each other. So, and again, I don't think that Andy would, like, Giselle is one of those people that I don't think is gonna get fired if Giselle's leaving the show.
Giselle is not gonna get fired. Just like that's why I say she's like Candy. She's not gonna get fired. The word of the day for Andy is feckless. He's feckless. That's our word of the day. Feckless for Andy. We did discuss Wendy. I really didn't have anything for this segment where they started talking about everything Wendy had going on because they didn't have a whole lot. I talked about that earlier, how they gave Giselle a whole moment, but they gave nothing to Wendy and everything she went through this season, and that was the colorism. We talked about that earlier. That was the colorism that CPM. Andy then asked Mia about Peter. She says that, yes, she slept with that chick, but that chick wasn't with Peter when we slept together. And at this point, nothing Mia says is true. I don't even know that her name is Mia. I don't believe her name is Mia. Somebody look up her real name, because I'm sure it ain't Mia.
It's Martin.
That's a stripper name.
I'm Mark.
Her name is Martin.
She refuses to be. They then get into the crime that was committed on screen when
Thank
Mia was assaulted. No, I mean when Mia assaulted Wendy
Mm.
twice,
Yeah.
and Mia refuses to be accountable. Mia just deflects and everything, wants no accountability. There's no holding her, to the carpet. Everything, even we even got to and this is where I was sickened and I just had to walk away when Robin started to try and explain why she said that Mia was not the antagonist, but Wendy was the antagonist, and trying to make sense of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ashley defended the fact that she flip flopped from
Mhm.
season 5 when she defended fucking Monique, who committed a crime on screen, but wanted no parts of defending. She, instead of defending Mia, now it was just this flip flopping.
Yeah.
You wanted to support Monique when she assaulted someone, but now you want to support Wendy. While that sounds laudable at this point, you're flip flopping, and she didn't believe she flip flopped.
A way
And
to
then
make it
Giselle
likable.
just came right out and say, "I don't care that that bitch got her ass whooped. I
Because I
don't
don't
like
like
that bitch, so I'm okay." After you had whole security guards
her.
that you had walking around with you. Remember when they had that meeting with Monique after the
Yeah.
fight, and
Yeah.
she brought that man in, and everybody looked at, who the fuck is this man? Oh, I needed security because I didn't know what would happen. Wait, what?
Right.
But
Yeah.
now you're okay with this woman getting assaulted on screen multiple times because you say, "Well, I don't like her." I want you to have that same energy because your daughters are darker than you. Your
Mm.
daughters ain't high yellow. And
Ooh.
when somebody assaults them,
Ooh.
and when somebody beats your daughter ass because they don't like you, because
Yep.
I'm telling you, that's going to happen to your daughters. Somebody ain't going to like your daughters because they don't like you. I want you to keep that energy when your daughter come to you crying and done got her ass whooped and said it's okay because they didn't like you. And so it's okay that you get your ass whooped because somebody doesn't like you.
Mm.
I could see somebody, but I could see Giselle's daughter getting bullied because of Giselle's behavior. I
Because
could,
of Giselle and her behavior.
Because of her,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's
It was
definitely,
disgusting. It was deplorable. I hate it. And what really got me was when Wendy got emotional. Like I was just like, oh.
yes.
I almost shed a little bit of a tear, a little bit. But like, she really said like me, I don't fuck with you. Like, but the reason why I didn't beat your ass is because I got a lot riding on me right now. And that
Right.
was
I
so
was
real.
kind of
That was the
mad with
realest part
Wendy
of
though.
that was the realest part of the reunion.
I agree.
It,
No,
no, and I hated that Wendy felt that way, but I was mad because Mia, not Mia, Wendy, you have a lot to lose. She was throwing out a lot of F bombs. And I think that Wendy's too intelligent to reduce herself. She could have drugged Mia for everything she was worth and not have had to just litter the place with all of these F bombs. You do realize that your employers at John Hopkins and CNN and MSNBC and all of these other places,
Are watching.
they are watching this. And you don't have to reduce yourself to the level because Mia never said an F bomb.
Mm-hmm.
She never did. And none of the women that you were going at, went there like that. And I don't feel like you had to do
They
that.
Wendy gave it to them because that's what they wanted. That's what they all kind of wanted. They wanted Wendy to blow up, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh,
I think someone told her to throw that drink at her.
well,
She-
well,
she-
let's be honest. If um, Wendy would have let Mia have it as eloquently as she could have, would Mia have actually understood the words? Because it gives me very much. She ain't gonna understand. Sometimes the gutter snipe only know gutter snipe language, so you gotta get. Sometimes you gotta get down to where she is. But I completely agree with you, El Teddy. It is a terrible look for Wendy, and that is why I say, like, Wendy is too good for this show. Like,
Mhm.
Hmm.
she shouldn't be here. Like, let's be clear. None of these women, outside of Wendy actually have anything going on that this show would cause a rift in their life, right?
Except for Wendy.
Except for Wendy. Like, Wendy had a full-blown career prior to being on this show.
Right.
None of the rest of them had anything going on that if they act a fool on Housewives, it's gonna stop a bag for them. It's not.
And the thing about it
came
is,
in with this.
The thing about it is, as bad as I think and lowbrow I think it was for Giselle to say what she said when she talked about, well, weren't you kissing up and showing coochies to Mia? She was right. And we said that in the panel. Why are you over here apologizing and trying to play nice with this bitch who assaulted you?
I could even understand her saying, like, okay, I apologize just so we can move on. But you spreading the eagle and showing each other vaginas and all that other shit. That's where it's like, girl, this bitch threw water in your face. Like,
girl, I'm not partying with you. I'm not drinking with you. We ain't going to go, we ain't doing none of that together.
Yeah.
Really? Interesting. See, I'd have partied with her. I'd have drunk with her and all of that. I'd have let her get good and pissy drunk and then went in the bathroom and wore that heifer out. Ooh, what? I'd let her get comfortable. I'd let her get comfortable. Oh, it's sweet. It's cool. Revenge is a dish best served cold. I'd have got her good and comfortable and drunk up.
But this was the part right here that made me just walk away. And at this point, I was exhausted. I was drained. I was spent. I had no more for these vile women on this show. At this point, between Robin and and Mia and Giselle, I was spent. I had nothing else. So when they got to the colorism conversation, I was just like, girl, well, and then the fact that the colorism conversation didn't give you anything. First of all, yes, you should have had a moderator. You absolutely. You're expecting women who just told you they can't break down a real conversation about a woman being assaulted and the fact that the person who assaulted the woman was wrong. They couldn't even come to a rational conversation about that. Someone being assaulted. And you expect them to have a real conversation amongst themselves about colorism? No, ma'am.
Yeah.
You needed a moderator. There's no way you enter this conversation without a moderator. It was
and please, I hope they don't, if they ever talk about this, because I know there's going a lot of people were talking about this. Oh, we didn't have a budget. Bitch.
Stop.
No one better not say shit about no type of budget. Y'all could have had literally. I mean, I listened to people on my live. Hell, I said we went from Amanda Seals, even though I know you don't like her. To
y'all do Amanda Seals.
Ayanla could have been there if y'all wanted to be cheap. Nina Parker from Love and Hip Hop, because I be seeing her on other shit and she be saying some good stuff. Like Nina Parker could have.
I like Nina Parker. I do like Nina Parker.
She's safe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need y'all to understand when Basketball Wives did a better job with colorism than the Real Housewives. They had a whole 45 minute they had a whole 45 minute episode. Now mind you, I'm not saying the content of what the crux of the information that came out was better, but they pretended to address the topic. They had a moderator, they had its own little sit down. They did all these little things.
But Tracy, Bravo is now going to check that box. Don't come at us with colorism no more.
Yeah.
We discussed colorism.
Yeah.
We did what we were supposed to do. We addressed it head on. Andy even attacked it and took himself out of the conversation. We handled it the right way. No, the fuck we did.
Look, I told y'all from the beginning, I had zero faith in them with the colorism topic. Zero.
I didn't even think they were going to do it, and at this point, they shouldn't have. If they didn't have to
at this point. The whole reunion could have went without it. But that's why I was so mad with Candace when she was like, when she started crying and she's like, oh, you acknowledging your privilege. That's really all I need to hear. Bitch,
and I was looking at Candace like, she's not acknowledging anything. She acknowledged Nothing. She said, I know I have privilege.
That shit.
And all she said was, yes, I'm better than you. She didn't admit that she had any parts in colorism, which she does, but she never admitted to having any parts in. What she said was, oh, I admit that I am looked at better than you. Basically said, bitch, I'm better than you. Please remember that.
Wait.
That's all she did.
Who we talking about?
Ashley.
Oh, Ashley. Okay, whatever.
But she was like, "Yeah, I'll admit I do experience some whatever she said, something about her privilege."
She said, "I experienced privilege."
At that point, I felt like that was staged.
My
like,
skin tone, girl.
That whole thing that Candace said in an interaction with her and Ashley, it seemed staged. Candace should not. If y'all was gonna, if Andy was gonna take himself out of it and they left it to the group, Wendy should have said some more stuff. Wendy didn't say really much anything.
Wendy did not, and Wendy should have took lead.
She should have
more than Candace.
Candace
let's be clear.
She's more
Those
educated.
women don't respect Candace. We've known that from the very beginning. They don't respect Candace because none of them had what Candace had, which was generational wealth, which is coming from money.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't respect Candace. Like Candace said, they feel like she's too emotional, she's too involved. You know what I'm saying? And even had Wendy led the conversation, they don't respect Wendy. They don't trust Wendy, which is why you needed a moderator. Yeah. Ashley and Robin, who are the two agent zeros, as well as Giselle, Ashley, and Robin are agent zeros for colorism on this show. And even Karen has her parts in colorism as well. Yeah. Karen did accept that there is colorism. The other three had no part. Ashley, Giselle, and Robin had no parts in this conversation.
The fact that they even tried to sit there and say that, oh, well, is it us that's perpetuating this, or is it the listeners? Is it the fans? Now we're trying to gaslight the fans.
Well, hold on.
We've been talking about this the whole season. We've been saying that there's colorism in the show.
So a part of that is true because a lot of it does come from the fans. It doesn't always come from the cast.
But the fans are commenting on what they observe.
Because according to Candace, none of these women on the cast are color.
And she was wrong about that. That is wrong.
Look, y'all girl got her big face up there and said that bullshit. I was like, oh, see, this right here is the pick me energy I be talking about that you give me. That I
needed a moderator.
And I have a question. Do y'all think because of Candace's generational wealth that she's somewhat jaded from?
That's a part of it as well.
At some point, because she was in.
That is a part of it as well because you notice there are some dark-skinned Black people when they become wealthy or come from wealth, they almost absolve themselves from the entirety of the Black race completely. They feel like they take on their own mantle of white privilege and breastplate of white supremacy. They don't, and you like the Bill Cosbys of the world and the Clarence Thomases of the world and the Alan Keyses of the world, who will look at Black people and say, no, y'all ghetto ass Black people. They look down on the entirety of the Black race as if they're not even a part of us. Not knowing that they have benefited from affirmative actions, from being the token, from being the one person that white people can hold on to. Oh, I'm friends with so and so, and that's all I need because that's the only Black person that we need in this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like it just becomes ridiculous.
That's what Mama Dorothy gives. She gives that, like she refers to Black people as blacks and all that other shit. Like,
and that might have been passed down to Candace.
Yeah,
it might have been.
Which is
all the more reason Candace should not have been the one that was spearheading.
She should not have been leading this conversation.
The darkest
not
woman
a moderator. It should have been Wendy.
It should have been Wendy. If they weren't gonna bring in somebody, they should have had Wendy do it because she's the most well versed. She has the range. She's the most educated, and she's the most qualified to talk about it because she's also the darkest woman on the show.
Yeah, but see, they wanted it to be quick. They want, let Candace say her piece. We'll talk about dog whistles, and then we'll agree to disagree and move on. Which is exactly.
Would that have isolated Wendy more though?
Probably.
Probably.
But
Probably.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Because if you look at it, when Karen started talking, Karen basically echoed everything Candace said.
Yeah.
But they seem to be more amenable to Karen saying it than they were to when Candace said it, which was the colorism.
Well,
yeah.
Could that also be because you know how Giselle and Robin feel? If they don't like you, they don't care. And we all know that they don't like Candace.
Right.
Like we learned that they was trying to get her out season 5 before they got Monique out. So we all know that they don't like her from a long time, from almost the beginning.
Yeah.
So
in the fact that we got to mention just freaking Jiz. Okay, towards the end when she was talking about, can we move on back to the drama?
Right. Because she wanted no part of the colorism conversation. She was like, let's move on from that and get back to the drama.
I mean, I noticed her body language the entire 2 minutes. Like it was
entirety of it.
Didn't want to be here. Oh my God, rolls eyes.
Why are we talking about this? She was like, and you're the main Giselle is of all of the people on the cast, she's the main culprit.
She's a vile human being. Like,
and I know the main culprit of color.
Yeah, and I know. Look, I watched Housewives for I watched a lot of these franchises. I know people have the ones that they don't like. I know a lot of people did not like Kenya for a long time. I never disliked a housewife this much in any franchise.
More than Kenya?
Yes. Oh no, I used to like Kenya. Kenya was I was a fan of Kenya's, but
wow.
But
when Atlanta comes, we gonna have fun with this producer. When Atlanta comes, we gonna have some fun.
Got a little bit respect though. Like Giselle, no,
Giselle is vile. Giselle is vile.
No, she's not.
But so is Ashley. Ashley is vile. Ashley and Giselle are vile. And as much as I don't like Karen, I would never put Karen on the level that I put Ashley and Giselle, because those two women are fucking vile.
They are.
Well, I thank you so much for acknowledging that. I appreciate you so much, El Teddy, because you know it takes a lot for you to acknowledge.
Because you know I don't really care for Karen.
Yep.
But I will say she is not on the level of Ashley or Giselle.
You know what I think it is with Ashley? I think Ashley understands the game better than Giselle does. So Ashley can see, like, wait, this isn't going to play well, you know, once the season airs, that when people are, so I need to make sure that I toe the line enough to appease you know, my cast members, to acknowledge this, to say something about it, but also not isolate Giselle out enough to where we're going to have an issue next season. So I think when Ashley was saying her things, it was strategic, because it was like, oh, yeah, I'm light-skinned. I have privilege. I understand that I have this, right? And it was like, I'm going to say these things. I'm going to say the right things to kind of toe the line, to give some sort of input so that...
And the other part about Giselle is Giselle comes from a time period with her age where she has reveled in her colorist privilege.
Yeah.
She's had her own pseudo supremacy from other people. She knew, and this is no slight to all of the women who may be AKA, she knew she fit into the stereotype. When Giselle pledged AKA, stereotypes were real and true.
She had found her tribe.
Probably want to bring back the damn paper bag. I'm telling you.
It's giving school day.
It was there. It was there. When I pledged my fraternity, people would tell me all the time, "Oh, you don't belong. You must be an alpha because you're too dark skinned to be a Kappa. And you're too smart to be a Kappa. You must be an alpha." And it was disrespectful to me and my fraternity, because I knew there were tons of members of my fraternity that were just as dark as me. And darker.
Yeah.
And so she comes from back in the, remember, Giselle grew up in the 80s. And when I say grew up in the 80s, Giselle spent her high school years in the 80s, where light skin was in the 80s.
Right.
Dark skin didn't become a thing till like the 90s with the
90s.
Wesley Snipeses and stuff.
Mm.
But in the 80s, it was all about the Albie Shures and the El
Everywhere.
DeBarges and
Yeah.
all of that. Light skin was in the 80s. And so Giselle being a high yellow ass girl
With
who
green
I could
eyes.
see 30 years ago, 35 years ago, Giselle
Mm.
40 years ago. Giselle was a hot piece of commodity. She was light skinned. She was probably about 40 pounds lighter. She was she
Not
had the high yellow eyes. She
mm.
Her
probably had some
ankles weren't
long
swollen.
hair. Giselle was nothing to be fucked off with. And so she spent the majority of her life with people telling her, you're better than everyone else. Yeah, and I'm gonna pledge AKA because I fit into that stereotype. You know what I'm saying? So not only I come from a my father who's well known and respected amongst the black community, so you couldn't even come at me from that regard because I come from a pedigree of people who's already well
Yeah.
known in the black community. Then I have my light skin to go with me, my pretty eyes. I'm gonna pledge AKA and fit all of the AKA stereotypes. I went to the HBCU. I married a pastor of a large mega church who's also Divine Nine. And get you can't tell me shit. So according to Giselle, sits on that dais with the rest of those women, looking down on them. Please be clear. She's self-righteous and pious, and that's why she acts the way she does. So she's never going to admit to any colorism on this show because to her, colorism doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Just like to white people, racism doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
And
the
I
only
don't
reason Karen has a better understanding of it is because she grew up on a damn farm. Like
Yep,
when you grow up on a plantation, your
yep.
mindset about things are a little different than, you
Hmm.
know, kind of how Giselle grew up and the
yeah.
things that she was able to accomplish with her privilege.
One thing about the only thing about Karen I didn't like was when these girls are doing like a series of videos talking about how they're not colorists, and Karen was the one that was like, "Oh well, no, Ray is dark skinned. I got a
Yeah.
child. I got dark skinned friends, and
Who sounds like the white person who says, I have black friends.
like
Well,
that was
my children are
that was
half
my only
black.
gripe. That's my only gripe with Karen. I felt like, but with Karen, I feel like her intentions are kind of pure. However you feel, El Teddy.
I
I
didn't
Karen
say anything.
don't
Karen,
think that Karen is a colorist. I don't think
yeah.
no, but
Yeah.
definitely Giselle, Robin, Mia, partially Ashley.
No,
The thing with
Karen, let's be clear. Karen is a colorist.
Really?
yeah, the
Yeah.
thing with colorism is not overt. It's very covert.
Mm-hmm.
It's microaggressions,
Yep.
aggression. It's unconscious things that you don't even realize you're doing,
Okay.
but
What
you're
makes you
doing
think
it
that Karen's
anyway
a colorist?
because it's so ingrained into how we as a people were bred and taught to think about each other.
I wouldn't even say that it's something that you don't. Yeah, at some point it may be something that you have to unlearn. But be clear with bitches like Giselle and Ashley, they know exactly what the fuck they're doing.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? Like, yes, sometimes it can be unconscious or subconscious, but in this regard, I think it's quite blatant. And that's the part that pisses me off. And that's where the gaslighting comes into place when they're just like, oh, woo, woo. And it's like every time Giselle will open her fucking mouth, the conversation would go off.
Included.
Like go off the ramps.
Look at what Yaya said. Karen said that when Wendy first came
Yeah.
on the show, she
Oh.
doesn't have the
The look.
Potomac look.
Mm-hmm.
That
Listen.
was out of Karen's mouth.
Listen. Again,
Okay.
Wendy
All right,
should not be here. Wendy has a career. Wendy has
But
multiple jobs. No,
career
Yeah,
is
that's not
she
one
fair.
thing,
doesn't.
but
Nothing
that doesn't
about
speak
Wendy
to the
says,
look. That doesn't
Right.
speak to the
okay,
look.
Right.
Wendy, again, what about Wendy says Real Housewives of Potomac? What about her says she should be in the slough with the girls on Potomac? Because Wendy, like, what about Wendy says this is the crowd we gonna put her in?
Well,
I would never put her in this crowd of women.
but do you feel like the crowd needs to be light skinned though?
It has nothing to do with the color of her skin. It has to do with the caliber of people. Nothing about Wendy and this group says that they should go together.
Does stick out. I'll give you
like,
that.
What part of Wendy
now, when
goes
Wendy
with this
first
group?
came on and Wendy talked about her 4 degrees over and over and over,
Yeah.
I let Wendy slide until a certain point. I had to drag Wendy for her 4 degrees because I could match her degree for degree and surpass it. Because there were things that she did in season 5 that I was like, Wendy, you're on a show with some people who don't even have any degrees. And you screaming, I have 4 degrees. It's like you were in the octagon fighting with MMA fighters, and you said, I don't want to fight with MMA fighters. I'm just going to go down to the corner by the liquor store and just start fighting people on the corner.
Wendy is overqualified, and I think that's what
exactly. Like Wendy, this isn't you. Even if you had the 4 degrees, this isn't the arena where you pump, where you go in, keep saying I got 4 degrees, because these women don't care about degrees.
Hell, she needed women
don't. These are not the women.
Yeah, you're right. She would be better on The View.
On The View, there we go.
Yeah,
we right. On television or something, because this is just not. This is really messing up her. I wouldn't say it's messing up her image, but it is like, you know, she's attached to trash.
I don't even agree if you're talking about the fashion, because fashion-wise, Wendy has the best fashions of most of
whoa. Not Wendy's first season. Wendy now. Wendy now.
Yeah.
The first season. Because I was trying to figure out her makeup situation.
Yeah,
I was like, what is going on
starting
here?
last season, Wendy understood the goddamn assignment.
Oh, listen, Wendy's a quick
every
study.
time you see Wendy on screen, Mama don't fuck off.
Well, we know all these girls' outfits have character development. Let's be clear. I mean, look what Giselle.
Except for Giselle.
Because you remember when Karen had that raggedy ass brown wig in the first couple of seasons?
Terrible.
Oh,
and when
Giselle had the brown wig back then. Oh, girl.
Them shits was thin. How the wig thin?
Girl. The wigs season 1 and 2 were not given anything. Girl,
checks cleared. Okay, let's be clear. These girls ain't getting paid. Well, you know, they getting paid good now.
According to the people, they're getting paid pennies, because I saw a blog that there's people who are getting paid like $12,000 an episode.
No, not
well, Potomac is like one of the newest franchises, so they are not getting Atlanta money. Like they're not.
I thought it was 50K an episode.
It's been 7 seasons though. Usually the money starts to come in around the 4th season. So what's going on?
Well, it will be Giselle, Ashley, Karen,
Robin
are going to be the top earners on the show because they've been there 7 seasons, right? So they're going to be your top earners. So Candace isn't, Wendy isn't, Mia isn't. You know, now
even those 4
Timbe in a wig looking like Eeyore ain't there.
From what I understand, nobody's getting $1 million salaries.
No, not on Potomac. Not at all.
Nobody.
Not at all.
Oh, I knew
Let's
that.
Be clear. Prior to season 5, Potomac's ratings weren't stellar at all. They were okay.
They were getting $100,000 salaries though. No, 6 figure incomes.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't speak to what they're getting. I don't know, but from things that have been coming out recently, where people have been trying to publicize how much they're making, they ain't making that much money. Which confirms Ashley says she can't afford her mortgage, and Mia said she don't have, a pot to piss in, or with them throw it out.
That's because these girls living above their means. They need to start being like Danielle from New Jersey. Okay, she got
because Danielle from New Jersey understands the assignment. Girl, I like my house. I can afford my house, and I ain't trying to upgrade for you to get what you want. Even though Jackie tried to come for her, and Jackie looked like she make less than Danielle.
Goddamn,
that woman up and down, and she looks a goddamn mess. What episode you on? What episode you on, producer?
I had listen. You know, I had to go back to the season before so I could
No,
get.
no, no. You could have started with this season.
Yes, because we got to
I
talk about
tried.
it.
Listen, I literally I went to this season. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I had to go back. I'm sorry. It's not gonna take me long. I saw the first episode, but it didn't make no sense. I needed
right.
a preface.
Because we on episode what's coming out tonight? 4?
Episode 4, yeah.
Episode 4 is tonight.
We gonna talk about it tomorrow.
We're gonna be on your channel tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Darren?
Mm-hmm.
We on Darren's channel tomorrow, episode 4. Tracy, you coming up with us tomorrow on Darren's channel? Talking about these whores.
Where'd she go?
Is it a good season?
It is.
Yeah.
The good thing about New Jersey is the men get paid too. And so the men are vested in their dramas, just like the women are vested in their dramas. So it's good to see the male dramas along with the female dramas.
I gotta catch up.
Because the men are definitely getting it. Matter of fact, at the end of last episode, the men were getting into it.
Hold on one second. They must have paid Sharice pennies for this episode. They paid her in Waffle House gift cards.
Oh, God. Why did you bring up
Why? I can't stand Eeyore.
Yeah, we had did so good. Tracy was doing so good. She was doing so good. Not bringing up Timbe. Not bringing up the beach beluga whale. The big beach beluga whale that is Sharice. And now you done got Tracy started. Yeah.
We about to see Sharice next week. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to see her next week. You could drag her next week.
We're going to Darren's page next week?
Yeah.
No, we'll use next week, Darren?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
so then we end the show. The last part of the show was Jacqueline coming on. And Jacqueline says, she ain't let her mama watch the show. I don't believe no part of that. Because even if you tell your mama, I don't need you to watch the show. As soon as you leave, what your mama go do? Go and watch the goddamn show.
Okay.
But she said even if her mama didn't, the rest of her family can't stand that bitch Mia no more. Which is true because her sister that she spoke about is a YouTuber, Tita Talks.
Oh,
Tita Talks is absolutely was a YouTuber well before Jacqueline was on the show. Tita Talks is older than Jacqueline, but she's a YouTuber, and that's the sister that Jacqueline was talking about. Was babysitting and so forth.
Right, the nanny.
Right, and Tita Talks can't stand Mia.
I will say.
Cannot stand Mia. Tita Talks said Mia ain't shit, which confirms that when Jacqueline say Mia be lying and shit, Tita Talks, the only reason Tita Talks hasn't said a whole lot of shit is because Tita Talks said, I don't want Bravo to come after me or my sister. But now that this shit is about to air, Tita Talks is about to start talking. Several of us YouTubers know who Tita Talks is. We know she's Mia's sister. And I'm not trying to interview her, but there are several YouTubers that are ready to interview Tita Talks. So
she was on Mim's channel.
Yep.
It's called her Tina Talks.
Tita, Tita.
So I do think that her mother hasn't watched the show because I think it's either Alzheimer's or dementia. She has one of those early stages of something with her memory. So I don't think the mother has watched the show. But what I found to be interesting is when they asked her, like, oh, did the family treat you bad growing up? Or whatever. She was like, no, they treated me great. And I'm like, so why are you on national TV doing
I think the
this?
Talks is with the Z if you're looking for Darren. The Talks is with the Z, I think.
Oh, okay.
Why are you on national TV doing this? It made no sense.
2 words, Tita Talks.
And she the old lady?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And she has she's had a YouTube channel for some time.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back on her channel, she got videos of Mia's kids and doing the babysitting there. Cause
Mia's
she
kids are
does
always
her
she's
whole
babysitting Mia's kids. Like this is
Oh.
not, something that we don't know.
Oh wow.
yeah.
So Jacqueline, that's why Jacqueline sit back like, wait a minute, bitch. The fuck? That's why I'm inclined to believe because remember, now Jacqueline, I got to give you some. Jacqueline, you was over there in Mia's corner at the beginning of the season, the first half of the season. You was over here windmilling for Mia and all of Mia's lies. You was backing her up.
Because that's
You
what
was
them
backing
best
up
friends
her
do.
lies. You was over here. You told Karen, bring your ass up here to the suite so we can talk to you, bitch. You were doing all of the things for Mia, supporting all of Mia's lies. Now all of a sudden, when she turned on you, it's a problem. But you ain't had no problem when she was, pouncing on everybody else.
Exactly.
Well,
Man,
that tends to be how this cast goes because,
Yep.
that's what they do. Even your girl Candace, your friend.
but yeah, they started to drag out receipts, and then it went on from there. And then I guess we'll find out next week what all these
Yeah.
receipts are.
And we getting
'Cause,
90-minute damn reunion and
but I
everybody.
think it's supposed to be an hour, and then 30 minutes is supposed to be that extra conversation between Andy and Robin. I won't be watching that. I'm just telling you now. I'm not watching it.
I'll brave it for
That
you. I'll
conversation
watch it
between
for you.
Robin and Andy, I have no reason to watch it.
I'll watch it for y'all because I want to know what was
Yeah,
said.
you can watch it for me because I'm telling you, I won't.
You want to know what she gonna lie about now? Oh, because that's all it's gonna be.
Child, I'm done. I cannot.
Lies, falsehoods, and fallacies.
Not
Fabrications.
Because
Um,
when I went back and did the math,
that
I
was
was
the whole.
like,
Listen, y'all, we don't win a long. I apologize.
Yeah.
We went a long time today. I know y'all be having other stuff. I know y'all looking at me sideways like El Teddy. That's why we don't come on your channel because you be real long. But it was no. But I will say this episode had a lot
Yeah.
to unpack. Even the reviews that I saw from everybody's review that I saw was longer than their normal reviews for this episode. My review wasn't as long because at a certain point I kind of fucking checked out and didn't give a shit. Like I was just drained and exhausted. I said, "Fuck these hoes! I don't even give a shit no more." Like
yeah,
I'm
we
giving
know.
more in this live than I did in my goddamn review.
I get that.
Yeah.
I
Because I
didn't
was
get into my
in the
review.
immediacy of me watching it, I needed like 48 hours, and I didn't take the 48 hours to, let my mind decompress. I did it right after I watched it and went in.
Mm.
I was like, I'll have time for these bitches.
All right.
Fuck the bows. All right, let's start from the top. Medusa, my love, my doll, my sweet. Anything for the people that you want to tell the people about what you got going on? Y'all go follow Medusa. If
Please
one of my
do.
mods can put any mods still in the checker, y'all put Medusa's channel.
Thank you. Yes, just follow me on YouTube at Medusa Show Off and on TikTok at the Medusa Show. Same thing with my Instagram at Medusa Show Off. And I will be back for some more, y'all. Thank you for having me, Teddy.
Anytime. Tracy, my love, my doll. Anything for the people. Tracy is the mod extraordinaire. She's a mod for a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
So
I
she's
mod
a
for
nice
I mod
mod.
for us
Whereas
all.
if I'm a mod for somebody, I'm probably the one that blocked you. Just know that.
Oh yeah, If you got blocked, it was Teddy. Like you
It
don't see
definitely.
him,
I
you
have
don't
no problem.
know. He just be in the bushes,
I'll
just
be I don't
sniping.
even come out the bushes. I'll be in the bushes and won't come out the bushes and would just be sniping people from the bushes, waiting for somebody to say something wrong. Oh, you said, oh, there you go. You're blocked.
Yep. You just see like this person has been blocked, and you like, who? Oh, that got to be Teddy because like before he even get good. So I don't have a YouTube or an Instagram or any of those things. I just mod for everybody because I love you all. I will pop my head in for Jersey, but I'm gonna need y'all not to drag me too much because I like Teresa. I don't like
I don't
Melissa
have a
and
problem if you
Joe.
like Teresa. Now, if you
I
like
don't
that
like.
bitch Jennifer,
Oh
then
no!
we
Oh
might have a
no!
problem.
See, I don't like Melissa and Joe because I'm still trying to figure out what they give because I don't know nothing about them folks besides they fight with Teresa.
Yeah.
I know about Teresa. I done seen her get married.
I just like Dolores.
Get on my nerves.
Honestly,
You
Dolores.
like Black Dolores? Yeah.
I like Dolores. Dolores is okay with me.
Yeah.
Dolores
I
is
feel like
different.
she's giving a blackface kind of with the body.
No. That's because
I think all of these
Wendy
women.
Because
I
Wendy
think
said
the
it.
entirety of the show goes to the tanning salon and says, "Give me the Donald Trump."
Okay.
No, that's not Jennifer called her a leather handbag though. I was like, damn, Jen, damn, Dolores.
I love Black Dolores.
Yeah. I watch Miami Housewives. I don't review it. I don't talk about it, but I do. I'm from Miami, so I gotta watch Miami Housewives.
El Teddy, because I know I talked about this with Medusa though. The All Star show is coming out, and Portia's coming back, and Giselle's gonna be there with Andy.
You know, you talk about
Ultimate Girls Trip.
It's not Ultimate Girls Trip.
Yeah,
I didn't. I've never watched Ultimate Girls Trip.
Okay.
I may watch it this time. This go round.
You think Portia coming back?
I've never watched Ultimate Girls Trip. I may watch it. I do have Peacock. I do, so I can go and watch it if I want to.
I never finished the season.
When does it start?
It starts sometime in March.
Okay.
Now I will be watching and reviewing the Escape and SWV show.
I thought about watching that. I didn't know if it's not my era, so I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Not my era.
That's my era. That's my
era. So that makes, it's like I was like, I don't know.
But the one thing I would say is, if you watch the SWV show, them hoes is about drama, and we know Escape got a whole lot of drama. So that shit to me. And they're in the same age range as most of the housewives of the housewife franchises. So this shit is about to be a housewives franchise without being a housewives franchise, which is why Bravo is picking it up. It's a housewives franchise without having the name.
I'm here because I feel like it's gonna be authentic drama, like because they got issues, like they got.
Coco don't give a fuck. If you know anything about Coco, that bitch Coco don't care. She'll say anything and don't give a fuck. She reminds me of Tina from the Erica and Tina. Remember when Mary had their show?
Oh Lord!
And Tina was a mess, but Tina was the best singer. Tina sings her ass off and sings circles around Erica, but she was a fucking mess on reality television. That's how Coco is. Coco is SWV, and Coco was a good enough singer by herself to make SWV one of the great female groups just on the street of just Coco's voice, but the bitch is a fucking mess on reality television. When they had their show, she was a fucking mess. This shit is gonna be gold. This shit is because Candy is on there. She gonna do what she do. You know, Latasha and Tamika ain't shit, and they gonna bring it. Tiny, she raised that demon seed that is her child. What's his name? What's the little boy that was down to the Waffle House?
Yeah. He looked like some semen. He the color of semen.
She took all of T.I.'s 3.5 inches. She took all of T.I.'s 3.5 inches on a regular basis. So she has a lot of built up anger. When you take a 3.5, when you marry something with 3.5 inches, you have a lot of pent up anger. So Tiny has a lot of pent up anger. You know, so Darren, what you got going on over there to the Darren Green show?
Oh well, you know, same old, different day. We done started the podcast. If things is going great on YouTube, we trying to grow on the audio with the audio listeners and stuff like that. But you know, I just been going live. Like I've been doing the Let's Chat lives, which has been doing really great. And I've seen some of y'all.
Mark, can y'all put Darren's link in the chat?
Yeah. Go ahead, subscribe to the show, child. You know,
we need to get there. Do you have your watch hours?
Child,
we getting there.
Every time they want to come up, YouTube want to be like, no. I'm just like, girl, I'm
Did
doing.
you see the story about Peter?
About who?
Wait, no, somebody sent me something, but I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
No, I didn't see it.
Peter,
he got arrested for assault of a woman.
Peter.
Yes. Patricia Thomas.
That's one of the girls. The girl I can see. the girls don't mind assaulting women because they are one. They feel like they are one of the girls, so that's why they don't feel no part about assaulting women, forgetting they got a whole twig and berries in between their legs
Yeah.
that
So
the
he
girls
choked
don't
the
have.
woman out
I
at
gotta
his
go
bar.
nurse my baby.
Choke the woman out.
Yeah, bar one. Oh, it's Tammy Rivera's cousin. You know, Waka and Tammy?
Yeah, I know. Tammy
Yeah,
Rivera.
it's Tammy's cousin. That's who he choked. Lord forgive me for laughing. That's who he choked out at his bar.
You said out bar one. I'm like, girl, they're gonna
It's
close
the
this
one
shit
in
down.
Miami,
No, in Baltimore.
the one in Baltimore. Oh,
Yeah. So Darren, that's a good story for you. Patricia being Patricia.
Oh, we would definitely. I would definitely look into that.
Let me know
Yep.
when.
Because
Yeah.
they got the whole like charging document and everything.
Oh shit.
Mhm.
Peter got a side. Patricia.
but Darren, that's all you got. You Darren is doing the goddamn thing. Y'all go follow Darren.
Yeah.
Y'all go follow Medusa. Follow all the people.
Oh.
Y'all are here. Y'all already following me. If you're not, fuck you and fuck your life. If you ain't following me already, hit the goddamn like button, bastard. Hit the motherfucking like button. You here now? You done had a good time. You done laughed and kiki with us. Bitch, hit the like or dislike. I don't give a shit which one you hit. Like, dislike. I get credit for all of it.
Wait, when are y'all doing Jersey?
Tomorrow.
We're doing it
tomorrow. Right?
Okay.
Tomorrow, Darren.
I gotta catch up.
Tomorrow because the episode dropped today.
Yeah, the episode dropped tonight, so I need to watch that when we get off here.
Huh?
Maybe next week I'll be caught up. Give me some time. Just give me some time.
I'm gonna give you some time. Girl,
when we get off here, I'll go watch. I'll go watch and see what they got going on. My girl is Margaret. I'll fight y'all about Margaret. Margaret and Dolores are my girls.
Margaret had to grow on me, but I like the
Margaret is the one with the lips, right?
Yeah,
With the mouth.
With the blonde hair.
Yeah.
She got better looking though. Like I was like, okay, Mark. Because when I first seen her, she looked frumpy and.
I don't know who I like yet.
But what I will say about the New Jersey lady, them houses don't fuck off. Them houses in New Jersey, them hoes we have in some houses. Melissa and Joe, them hoes, they got their regular main mansion, then they have the Jersey Shore summer house where they could just go. That's still bigger than Danielle's house. their Jersey Shore summer house is bigger than Danielle's regular house.
I like me some Danielle. That's my girl.
I love Danielle, and I want her to beat that bitch. What's her name? Jasmine. What?
Jackie.
Jackie's ass.
The Slenderman. About her. That's the Slenderman.
When she looked her up and down and said, "Oh, I don't like what you have on, bitch. You look like what you got on."
She looked like that damn thing out the Wild Thornberries. Like, I'm telling you, like, well, who was that one with the long face? Wait, did y'all?
I'm done. No, I gotta go tend to my baby. We'll see y'all next week.
I can't do this with y'all. Listen, y'all. As I always say, I love y'all. I love all y'all. Thank you all for being vocal president actors. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged and much appreciated. We done been on here almost 2 hours, y'all. Y'all know we only try to give y'all an hour. Yeah. We've been on here almost 2 hours with y'all. We don't owe y'all nothing. We did what we did. We gave y'all what we had. And we good. Until next week, we'll be on Darren Green's channel. That's all we got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. We out of here. Peace, y'all.